All right. Well, welcome everybody for another session here with the Bookmap Academy. And we're going to go through coaching and mentoring on your material, your content. That's what the Academy is all about. And you can sign up on bookmap.com. Let me show you where. Just go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, and under Community, you'll see Bookmap Academy here. It's bookmap.com/academy. Read through this. You can end up getting Bookmap for free as you go through the steps. You can get a lot more. You can get the MBO or stops and icebergs, as well as data, and become a streamer as well. Okay, so we're offering this onboarding to becoming a much more professional and skilled trader if you are interested. All right, so risk disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. I don't know if you are aware or if you've seen some of these events. They've been really, really great events. We should have been doing these probably much earlier. It was kind of funny and fortuitous that we came across these traders and had this event here to have institutional traders present how they traded size. So, this is a fully different subject than what we do as retail traders. But to understand that mindset has been really fascinating. We've had Robert Rother, Spencer Reigel, Brad Gilbert, Marco Bosing. We just had this actually slide is incorrect here in the time, but we just had Scott Pulcini and Brett Steenbarger, and then tomorrow we have hedge fund manager Al Vinjamore. So I mean, they are trading on sizes that are just mind-boggling for us as retail traders, but the way that they trade is very different, right? So anyway, and why we're doing this and why we came up with the whole idea to begin with is because get some insight from them, and then the following week, starting October 29th, we have a CME trading competition. We'll give you $1 million in sim, and you can trade it. Now, it's not hundreds of millions, but you're going to have to edit your trading. You're going to have to do something a little different so you don't slip yourself or the order book against yourself. And so, yeah, I think you should go for it. Watch these recordings of some of the webinars, come to the events, and then start to put a plan together how you're going to trade. You all also have access right now via the 24/7 simulator within Bookmap, and you can trade size in there right now and start to practice a little bit. October 28th, we will open the room. And you can start to practice with size as well, and it will be wiped out starting October 29th when the competition begins. So you get you get a day to practice a bit. All right, so anyway, if you're interested, go to competition.bookmap.com, sign up and register for the event. Once the event starts, you will not have access. All right, so you'll have to sign up now. Other news, if you're interested in our beta programs, you can get access to new tools like our multi-account if you're trading like Fast Track Trader or Top Step or Apex accounts, etc. We have a new Market Pulse web tool and others. A lot of you are partaking also in the Blue Jacket competition, and then here we are for the Thursday Bookmap Academy meeting. All right, so yeah, this was for Robert Rother's event, but let's move on and let's jump in and get started here. Hold on just a minute. Oh, I forgot to give the email to the beta programs if you're interested in that. It's beta@bookmap.com. All right, so we'll start off with David and kick it off here with Shark Baloo.
Thanks. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders. Hope everyone's had a a good day and a good week, and always makes Dan chuckle on that. We're going to start with Shark Blue, as Bruce has said. So thank you everyone for your posting, your shares, your updates, your spreadsheets, and so forth. Do keep that coming. As we've all said many times before, we do enjoy looking through those and looking through the various trades that people are taking and so forth, and then getting the opportunity to talk those through today. Shark Blue, how has your week been, sir?
Week has been great, thank you.
That's good. That's good. You've been smashing it, I trust.
Yeah. I had two really great days and two down days that were much smaller than the great days, so I'm happy with that.
That's good. That's good. Excellent. So I've picked out a couple of charts here off your spreadsheet. So the first one here, you've got the failure coming up, and then the next trade that we'll look at is one of your classic trader VIX that we also see. So some nice scalping you've had on here and so forth. My usual sort of comments on that. If we can add in things like checklists and so forth, that's always handy. I know you're on PST, but if you can make a note to try and mention that somewhere within the post, that often helps. But talk us through what you were doing here and how you're setting yourself up for the 180, the reversal on the way back down, please.
Okay, so being mostly a reversal trader, I've been trying to select either the high or low of any given day.
Yep.
A good look, study it. For pattern recognition, right? I mean, the same things repeat themselves day after day after day. So I think the more I study these things, better pattern recognition I have. In this case, I was just looking at liquidity and absorption. So this is on TraderMap Lite.
Okay.
Which I keep on a different tab. I pull it up occasionally to look at it.
Nice.
So like you said, this isn't annotated like my typical trade chart where I have the date tag and the entry and everything. This was just a high of days study. I decided it was an important thing to look at.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's got some classic action on it. It's sort of almost textbook, isn't it? Where you've got on the left-hand side before 11 o'clock, you've got volume picking up, you've got some nice liquidity levels that the price is charging up into and through. Volume keeps picking up at 11:02. We then get to a failure around about 11:04, and looking at the volume, which, as all of you know, I've learned I look at a lot. It just drops off as we get into that. I'm going to throw it into the bus of sort of lunchtime range, and as Bruce is kindly highlighting there, we've got that lower high. We get that failure. You could say it sort of goes sideways a little bit, though it does pull back a little bit, and then in comes the volume just after 11:06 of selling volume, and bang, we accelerate back down, and we got a few more nice decent red bars, and then just before 11:10, you get a massive volume spike coming.
What I kept thinking looking at this one, David, is prices going up, but these passive liquidity areas just keep getting consumed on the way up, on the way up, on the way up. And then that volume kicks in the box Bruce has highlighted there. And all that passive liquidity just moves out of the way.
Yes, it does.
Which to me, and then we've been listening to these big money trader guys. Is that someone building a position on the way up?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Buying as price goes up, they're entering, they're selling to enter, and then on the way down, is that them getting out of their own way so that they can then take profit at a lower price on all that passive selling they did on the way up?
Could well be. Yeah. Those games, those sucker punches, and everything else in between. I'm sure you've been hearing about this week. You've heard Scott
That's what
talk
I was
about what
thinking when I was looking at this. I was just wondering if it's like a single entity uh, building a really large short position on the way up
yeah,
and then getting out of their own way to pull price back down, maybe.
could very much be that. I'm thinking of some of the things we've all heard Scott talk about in the past, and no doubt others as well. If I throw Bruce some sort of support, where they'll be driving the price up for I call it price gouging. So they're buying, but their whole view is selling. If that makes any logical sense, as you say, they're driving up, but the view is to then drop it all the way back down. Wrong foot people, etc., etc.
Yeah, and
And
see, I'm trying to wrap my head around how price goes up when the volume is seller dominant. And I know Bruce talked about that recently, but I can't really wrap my head around that.
always remember, and again, Bruce could cut across and correct, that of course these markets are also linked, completely linked. And one of the things that I was talking to Bruce and Stan about early on, you'll see at the very start of the chat, is the Tesla chart from today, and I'm sure all of you have sort of seen how that was a $20 move within the cash hours alone. So where that equity, that stock, that share can be motoring along, it does affect, of course, the indices. So you may not always see the right volume and the right trades going through on ES and NASDAQ because of something somewhere else. Now, I know people can debate that and refute it and everything else in between, but the moves are not always related to what you see on the chart. Isn't that right, Bruce?
I
Yeah.
I keep a collective chart up, David.
Yeah,
That is
nice.
Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia,
Lovely.
and before today, I also had Meta,
Okay.
and I think
Yeah.
it was Google on there, weighted by size. But I removed everyone except Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, and
Yeah.
that seems to. I don't show ETH hours on that chart, and the
Okay.
gaps on that one really do tend to not predict, but kind of tell a little story of what's possible on any given day.
Definitely. They definitely do. And within ETH, those stocks come online or back online. They come out of the blind 9 o'clock UK time, current UK time. And if those start to, as Tesla did today, starts to move, call it pre-market, and then you get that gap for cash. Yeah, yeah. So definitely worth eyeing if you can. I appreciate these are more data feeds and everything else. So if we perhaps segue, Bruce, to the next chart down, I think this is within the same sort of trade frame that you had, wasn't it, Sharp Blue?
Sure. Stan, I don't know if you had any comments on this chart.
I find it very good. As usual, I like the other flow than you mentioned. I just think like you never know who can be in the book or not, but maybe looking at the volume and where he's building and the other flow, then you can maybe sort out from Bookmap might maybe give you something after it. It's always hard to know like exactly if it is one entities or different, and I don't think we should look too much into it, but what is happening after, or yeah, that's the only thing. But
Yeah.
still,
So you mean
I like.
follow through after seeing
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For example.
Yeah. I think it's I hear you. I would like to see what happened too. On the other hand, like this is a really nice. I know that this isn't a trade, Shark, so you don't have your checklist. Or David, you started off with that checklist and
Yeah.
time of day and stuff. I think uh, it would be good to put this into a checklist because you can see some things going on here. Like first off, we got the figure, right? 5,900. We have high liquidity at the figure. Trades into it, kind of struggles, trades through it, but like as you're marking up in blue, Shark, a lot of liquidity and it's trading all the way up, right? And And then like as David had mentioned, like, okay, a lower high, and look at the volume up in here trading. And then they're getting out of the way, and now we have the sellers coming in. The interesting thing here is we see this transition from, well, the aggressors, we see the transition from buying to selling, but we have, as we've been covering in the webinars, that these are passive sellers. So we have the passive sellers engaged in the market, and now we're having the aggressive sellers coming into the market and moving the market and moving it away, and these buyers are getting out of the way, as you'd mentioned, Shark. This just happens time and time again. So larger player games around the figure, I don't know, but it doesn't take much stretch of the imagination to kind of maybe think that.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's saying
What-
again,
what-
Bruce. It's a lovely time frame of. It's just 10 minutes, Shark, isn't it? Really, it's a 10-minute thing. Up it goes, 10 points. 10 minutes, 10 points.
Yeah, it's really just zoomed in on that high of the day. One of the things that I try to do, or I intend on doing with these high of day and low of day studies, is to come back in later and trade that high or low in replay. I don't always make it just due to timing and the job, but and it's impossible to do without curve fitting that trade, right? Because I've already studied that reverse. I know exactly what's going to happen. But honestly, I don't think curve fitting a trade in replay is a bad thing, because I'm studying that pattern recognition, and I also wanna study or work on improving my execution in that key reversal area.
And as you've touched on, if you've got some access to other assets that you can see if those are pulling back from that high, that gives you confidence to hit it where you are seeing, whether it's Nvidia or something, just easing back on its usual motoring ahead. That gives you, okay, we are going to pull back a bit now.
Yeah. I don't have any more comments on this one. I mean, I don't know. We kind of beat it to death.
We have. So the next chart, I think it's a similar sort of time frame. Isn't it, Shark? Oh, they haven't quite seen it yet. You've got more annotation on it. You've got some
Yeah.
lovely,
So this is the same reversal zoomed out.
Yeah. You got lovely liquidity building up as Bruce is highlighting across the bottom there, and that sort of, and you can see that sharp V up, and there may well have been a stop run going through there as well. But it's a textbook. It's a textbook chart, Bruce. Has to be said. It's a Bookmap advert.
Yeah, it's a beauty zoomed out. Yeah.
What on here would you identify as exhaustion areas? Buying exhaustion areas?
I still think that we covered it earlier. So here's buying, and then look at this little peak here. Very little buying. I know that we'll have to go back to the original image, but I mean, this is it. I mean, as David said, this is a lower high. They can't even, we can't even get people to trade back up to this level.
Yeah, despite the high liquidity as well that's sitting there.
Yeah, sitting up here.
That lower high, that lower high where there's virtually zero volume sitting down below in the bars.
Yeah, it just drifts, doesn't it? It fades away, and then bang, in comes the selling.
Yeah, so here's your divergence here. That would be your CVD, or just looking at volume. I mean, there's some buying, and then like some selling. It's a beautiful down here. It looks really good to me. I mean, like here's our little cluster of selling to counter some of the buying, and then a lack of buying, and then the heavy selling coming in. So they're going to move it away. I mean, I hate to say that. We have enough aggressive sellers to move away from this area up here. And then
So to answer Steven's question, on where I would get in and say this is confirmed is I didn't put it on the chart because I wanted to just look at the order flow, but there's a picture perfect 1, 2, 3 R reversal there where that little sell off low in between the two highs
Yeah.
is that level. Yeah, that one. That's the level that I would tag as the minor sell off low and use a close below that level as confirmation that a reversal is identified.
Very much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, God, it's so easy to sit back and armchair quarterback this.
Monday morning,
And
off we go.
I hate that because we never know. And when you're trading it in live, you don't know if all of a sudden right in here, there's going to be a bunch of buying that just pops in and then takes it up to this level of liquidity. Or in here, maybe it just kind of trickles off a little bit and then it rebounds up into there. How many times does that happen? But here, I feel at least like once, like you said, Shark, you see some of this little cluster here in your 1, 2, 3 pattern. You have some exhaustion here, but when you start to see this here, that's moving it away from all of this here. And moving it below moving it down to retest the figure. This is where Laura had a really nice documentation of a trade a few weeks ago, and she waited and waited for the pullback to after it dropped from where it dropped from, and then she even waited in here, and she waited for getting involved right around in here. She entered. And that to me is kind of picture perfect, because we don't know.
Definitely alleviate some stress right there, right, Bruce?
Absolutely.
Instead of getting in at that break and riding price back up to that level.
Right. I mean, this is telling. I feel, and then
It is. Yeah.
we don't have enough buying at that point, so it's kind of classic. It's a really nice thing you noticed, Shark, and we can. I mean, it's easy to cover it.
Yeah. Slam dunk for us, Bruce. He's even for us. Thank you, Shark.
or just make.
I'll pop back in this weekend and I'll trade this same area in replay.
Yeah, and
thanks
then,
for the insight, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, look at it's the same old things, like as you'd noted on the way up here. Exactly like this. Passive sellers, and then the aggressive sellers start to come in, and it is the reversal is kind of complete. It doesn't look like much of a reversal pattern here, zoomed out, but I mean it fits the bill. Here's your buying, and here's your selling, or at least the first initial, and here's the second one here. Yeah, I'd be looking to target. I'm surprised it didn't trade into this down here.
Yeah,
it did eventually, Bruce.
Okay. So it came back up and retagged the high liquidity here, sellers entering. But nice one, nice.
This weekend I'll trade it in replay, and I will line it up with my typical bread and butter criteria.
Fantastic. Well played, fella.
Perfect. Yeah.
Stan, any comments on that one before we go to the next chart, sir?
Well, that's a good one. I really like how you highlight the liquidity. Not a lot to say. I mean, really, just the images is beautiful. Really like what you're doing. And just try to look at the relative volume, and and for the exhaustion, it will really depends about the time frame that you're looking for. Obviously, when we zoomed, it's easy to see this exhaustion. Now, yeah, I can see it as clear as it was on the other pictures. So it will really depend what's the time frame you're using to. But still, yeah, you really nailed it, and yeah, try to make a checklist with what you're doing. And I just think on the first images, maybe more short-term liquidity uh, would be great. So yeah, if you see like some kind of strong sellers plus yeah, they're adding on the offer. You could really try to fill something. I mean on the right when sellers engage the move and break the
Here and
the
here.
consolidation. Yeah,
Okay, I see what you're saying, Stan. Those three areas there where
yeah. And then
sellers were
if
coming back in on
you
that.
yeah, and then if you zoom out, actually, I don't think we can call it like quite an exhaustion, but still you can say that there is yeah, quite a lower conviction from the huge volume that just happened. Um, so yeah,
So,
just things.
Stan, do you mean like this in here as the conviction?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And maybe catch the second leg, but yeah, due to the high volume and the zoom view, uh, yeah, just taking that in your yeah on your side, it's one pieces of the puzzle, and it's great that you're starting to take them in consideration.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Perfect.
All right. Let's move on.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
One more, buddy. One more. But yeah, no, welcome,
More,
welcome.
okay. Let's see
So
what we have
that
here.
was the Tuesday trade. This is the Monday trade, and we can actually see the trading going on there. So it's another, I think 1, 2, 3 by your good self. Chart not as clean as the last one. The other one really was textbook, but yeah. Talk us through how you saw this one, please.
Okay, I'm pulling up my candlestick chart here.
Perfect.
Okay, so same typical bread and butter thing I do is I find
Mhm.
my low time frame supply zone there sitting on top of a higher time frame demand, prices riding in between those zones, and where my trend line sets up my 1, 2, 3 R, sits perfectly right at that supply rejection. I did enter this one aggressively prior to price pulling back out of supply. I caught that entry as price was moving into supply.
And you put this as a
So
limit, it looks like, didn't it? You put it in at 10.15.
yes, so not my typical trade where I'm catching a
Yeah.
stop limit on the way back out.
Mhm.
I had conviction in this move from the previous price action
Yeah.
that she was going to reject that supply zone. And she actually did ride a little further into it than I had anticipated.
Mhm.
But my stop was pretty wide at
Four.
97-ish.
Nice. Yeah. Above the action.
So this was that set it and forget it and let it play out until I decided to, grab the stop and drag it down into price.
Perfect. Was there a take profit in originally or not? You just had a.
Yeah, it looks like one
yeah.
one here, David.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
another.
I trimmed the position there
Yeah, you took a
and then
partial out.
grabbed the stop and drug it
Okay.
back down to where
Nice.
it was really just dragging it, riding price on the way down, waiting for it to turn
Okay.
around and stop me out.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. No, really nice. Good setup. Broad checklist. And talk us through on the market pulse that you are eyeing down there. That's that peak up, please.
I didn't tag it on this trade, David, but right there
Okay. Yeah.
where I did eventually stop out,
Oh,
the VPI and CVD converge at the lower lows, which to me signals a reversal north. So that's kind of a really great signal to just get the hell out of the trade.
Yeah.
Then I'm free to think, reanalyze. I could always get back in, but I'd rather hang on to those. I'd rather just catch those unrealized gains and find
7 points, perfect. With you, yeah. And that CVD is chart CVD, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And this time of day, is this like one of your favorite times, or it just allows, with baby and so forth, to be able to come up to the screen, or you just like it? This sort of lunchtime-ish trade.
Yeah, I always tell myself it's better for me to be out of the market in 90 minutes or 2 hours.
Okay.
But if I see my textbook trade model set up, I'm going to take it. I'll find a risk that I'm comfortable losing and just get in the trade and do my best to manage it accordingly.
Perfect. And another
I
1,
do
2, 3
notice
now.
that.
Sorry, my bad.
No, I was just going to say I do notice that when price is moving slower, my emotions tend to ride a little bit higher, and I know that's my patience or lack thereof. But I think it's a good exercise for me to just put the risk on the table,
Yeah.
and practice my execution.
Great stuff. And is the 1, 2, 3 your sort of like go-to setup? Would it be fair to say?
It is, it's just top down, right? I find my supply and demand zones where price interacts with those zones, preferably supply, because I prefer to trade to the short side. So where price interacts with that key zone, then I'm looking for the 1, 2, 3 pattern to play out, and then just find my entry. Now, typically, as Bruce knows, I would just take the textbook entry at that minor sell-off low, and then I'd end up sitting through consolidation, chop, going underwater. But I've been putting a lot of focus into, rather than taking that textbook entry, is once I get that confirmation, I want to look at the order flow to support the move.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as I said at the start, it's not the chart, not your fault. The chart's not as tidy as the textbook we had earlier on, but still, you've got those footprints, those indications, as you talked about the delta flipping at 11 o'clock, where the volume had sort of just dipped off a little bit on that peak, that exhaustion, and then in comes the red bars, in come the red dots. We've got a VPARC, we've got, I think it's your VWAP. It's the stars are starting to align for whether it's a pull back, pull down, whatever we wish to call it, but within that 1, 2, 3 pattern. And yeah, in you go, and out you come with some nice points. So well done, Stan. Catch me, sir, for a change, please. Catch me.
Yeah, I don't know if you were using like Trader Map Lite. If it would maybe give us more things about liquidity in this case. But that's a great one. You have your conviction. You know why you want to enter at this level. Obviously, I would prefer with the confirmation of the sellers, but yeah. But still, yeah. Then clearly you get your exhaustion, sellers scheme in your favor. You get your skill. And then yeah, I'm just wondering for the stop why you decide to lower it directly at that time and not maybe a little bit wider it. I think it's great. Just wondering why.
So when price pulled back below that what I call the minor sell-off low, which was at 90-ish, when price broke back below that level after coming back above it, that's when I grabbed my stop to bring it down.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no.
And at that point, if I don't make my target, I'm fine with that. I just want to keep my unrealized gains So I'm gonna ride that stop close.
And
And if it takes me out, perfect. I could then look for a re-entry or just look for the next better trade.
yeah, that's perfect. I think you should write it down even in your trading journal. Yeah, about the management than you will do, and just stick with it. But that's great. That's great. True.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Great.
a few ideas, Shark. I always give you a lot of suggestions, so I hope it's not confusing. And I, hate to do that to traders because maybe they're onto something and it's working for them, and then they get feedback from others and like it screws up everything, and they had a good thing going. So take it as a grain of salt, and maybe as we've always said, like study and stick with your setup, and then as a separate study, maybe consider as a separate setup some of these suggestions. So you got your 1-2-3 pattern, and you noticed a ton of selling coming in. So you're looking for a retest back up and getting in, because you know that there is a cluster of selling. That's your 1-2-3. And as Stan had mentioned, you're going to see this liquidity a lot better in TraderMap Pro, and that'll give you a lot more insight, I think. And you can trade off of TraderMap Pro now, so it's or TraderMap Lite. But the key things though that I find it very hard. I mean, you are as well, but it's many of us. I mean, Carmine Rosado has been trading at a high level for many years. He still gets in on strength. He goes short on strength. I still really maybe you use it in replay mode with your 1-2-3, but look for over here, and because you're there, it does it a couple of times. In fact, so here's your exhaustion here, and here's your selling here. But wait for it to happen, and then get in on the pull. Try to get in on a pullback. So it's so much easier said than done, because it happens really quickly, and there's not a lot that transacts up here on the pullback.
No.
So you usually have to go in with market someplace in here. However, if try it in replay mode, because this will probably alleviate so much stress for you, because here you still don't know if this is going to trend or not. It might, and it's still in an uptrend. That you can have your VWAP here; it's bouncing off of it, and this is a lot less risky over here. And you took a nice little scale out, and to take some off the table. And then another thing too is like I like that you drag this down, but just a thing to, as a suggestion, start to look at maybe some measured moves in here, because the 1-2-3 pattern fits that pretty nicely. There's a reason. I mean, like this move is kind of maybe equal to this move. So after it breaks here, look for a move kind of similar, that where you might want to take some profit, and maybe just front run it a little bit, like this would be an example. You'd get out here, and just some thoughts. But wait for it to curl around, and then get in, and then look for a measured move potentially. I mean, heck, you can have a measured move here as well. Like this is equal to this.
That was definitely somewhat of an aggressive entry. Just basically looking at into supply. As far as your suggestions, Bruce, that is why I'm here, for your suggestions and suggestions of the other coaches and traders. So I appreciate them all, grain of salt or not. You'll notice where I trimmed that position,
Yeah.
I put that order right below the VWAP that was anchored to my trend line pivot low.
Nice.
So I was using that VWAP level to say, hey, price may turn around here.
Let's take some off. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, beauty. Yeah, I mean,
Great.
it's
You
refinement.
know, I have Trader Map Lite on a different screen, but I have not attempted to trade off of it yet. I do watch it though.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. David,
Very good.
any more? Or did we
No,
beat, did we
no,
beat
that-
this one to death too?
we've beaten that one to death. But if I can have a pause or a good segue, I think it's Tom B's birthday tomorrow, traders. So if you've got the chance, those
Hmm.
to wish him a happy birthday, please do. If I've got his day right, he's probably screaming, going, "No, it's not. It's Saturday, David." But I think it's Friday. So we'll see.
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent.
So that's me done with Shark Blue.
Okay.
So that was on my list. So yeah, great
Okay.
trading, buddy. So,
Thanks, guys. That's fantastic insight. I really do appreciate the suggestions.
Very welcome. Very welcome. We've all got our, as Bruce says, grains of salt, tips on wiggling with the club and other things to make you a few more. Got to get the golfing one in, a few more yards off the tee. We do.
We have Christoph, and he's in here. I know he doesn't speak English. He does a heck of a job with the translations, though, and being really engaging in the Discord. And his trades have been really great, really fantastic stuff. So I don't know if you guys want to kind of speak a little French back and forth as well. I mean, I'm open to it, but I don't know how many other people in here speak French.
Not sure that. Yeah. Obviously, I was about to translate what he was doing, explaining because this one was in French, and then I already translate the feedback in the Notion, so should be good.
Très bon.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
He was.
do you want to
Yeah,
go
he
through?
can jump.
Did
Yeah, I can
maybe
go
he?
through it and give him like in English, and then.
Okay. And maybe Christophe, are you? Well, we can invite you to the stage here if you like. It's up to you. Hey, there he is. And yeah, he's been doing some really great work. I mean, look at he's got a checklist. You know, he's
Exactly.
Yeah, this is really great stuff.
Hey, so I will go in English, and if you have something missing, yeah, let me know. So he was going through a short in the pre-market action, yes. It is on so the NQ, and I think it was yeah, to prepare like the competition with a bigger size. Not sure for this one. But I find very great, like we have different images about correlation. So the ES chart that we have on the top right, and then TPOs on the, so yeah, bottom left. So great to have different images to have a better context and what you were looking for. So about the checklist, the number one is he was so yeah, he clearly identified like huge liquidity that came. Then for the number two, so on the top right picture, so there is like a lot of icebergs that were waiting to be filled, and then number three, like during the pre-market, so they went through this iceberg, but haven't been completely filled in totality. So that was on the ES chart. And then, so on the NQ, we can see like head and shoulders building plus yeah, some sellers that came in and break it for number 4 and 5. So there is a huge, yeah, pressure and a sweep to, yeah, to keep filling the yes iceberg. So I think for that point it will be great to have another images and like that we can clearly see like the behavior of those iceberg. Even on the other charts, it will be easier for us to see something because I don't know, even on that chart on the top right, we can already see exactly what's going in. Yeah, true. Where you just highlight, that's true. But on the chart, I mean, it will be great to have other images where we can more zoomed in. So I was considering about the checklist. It's maybe more point than you will have on your sort of morning meeting. Like it's all things that you are identify. Yeah, then you identify a bit. It's maybe not things then you will repeat every time. Like I was maybe more thinking about adding things. Um, like order flow, for example, the volume or the behavior of the yeah, the sellers or the buyers into that to give you like more confirmation about the entry, even to add the pieces of the puzzle. But that's great. Then you are trying to build something. And so just there, so yeah, he took a shot, and I was just like trying to understand why at that time he entered, and so it's why I was considering maybe to try to take some points for why you will enter, why you will take that entry, and what you set up with it. What I find great too, it's like he has a great explanation about his money management. Like we can see trade number 1, so that was the target objective was the liquidity about the 20,430. Yeah, the number 1 exactly. And if there is like a high buying pressure on the ES, he will let it goes up to the target. And then he even like put a stop, so yeah, where he will exit. So it was about 250 ticks behind his entry. So I think it's above the liquidity. That's above, not sure exactly. But yeah, there is a lot of information, and that's very great to see all the things that you are trying to point off. I just think like where you will already take some from Bookmap, it's with this behavior, with the volume, like the bubble, the relative volume, and the liquidity. And it will be good even if we can see it here now, like the number 1 or even the liquidity that you highlight on the top. So it was more about target, I think. It will be good to have more zoomed view and what's really happened in the move. And maybe consider to use the bookmap checklist because it will allow you to grade every settings of what you're looking for, and that will be very helpful with time and the grades that you've put. And even yeah, you have a post rate analyze, so your target is received. So ES has top iceberg demands on the 6180 FIBO retracement, plus the 2 October to the 16 October wave. Yeah, almost to the tick. So yeah, that's yeah, a lot of information. That's great. Just keep posting, try to focus maybe on adding some order flow elements in the chart, and that's great. A lot of good confluences. Yeah, not a lot to say. Yeah, for the target, I will maybe suggest you to maybe consider to take some of front of the liquidity. We never know what will happen, but still it play out. So great. I don't know if David or Bruce, you have anything to add?
Yeah, sure. No, great charting. I like the picture in pictures. I like the, if I come say they're sort of market profile ones in the bottom left. Those are like, Bruce, the ones Scott used to post many years ago. I must apologize, Scott. I don't follow you so much these days, but he used to do similar sort of charts like this, which were, I know a lot of us used to go and then copy to get those profile day sort of views. Great swing trading here. As some of you will recall, Jack says, well, for David, anything over 5 minutes is a swing trade here, and you've got many hours from entering through to the exits. But again, Bruce, that's sort of easy to say on a Monday morning, isn't it? But where you've got those trends, you've got the deep liquidity, probably some of the things your institutional traders have been talking about this week, and where you have a politely, rudely, a wide enough stop, and you get into that, call it that trend, you can make some handsome points as Christophe has done here. So yeah, no, really nice, really nice use of Bookmap in a more, dare I say again, swing, Bruce, sort of, rather than the charts that you see off me or we've just seen off Sharp Blue, where we're getting excited and giddy over our skis over a 10-minute time frame, and we're going in and taking 4 to 6 points. Here we are, we're talking 4, 5, 6 hours, and we're taking out hundreds of points. So yeah, really nice chart. Back to you, Bruce, please.
All right. I agree with all of what was just said, and more. I mean, there's like some really nice attention to detail in here. Very kind of I don't know. There's a sensitivity to it. There's a depth to it, and what I mean by depth is, like, there's bigger pictures. There's different time frames. You've got the ES. You've got a checklist. You've got your reasoning, your management, your take profits, etc. That's a lot. And then on top of that, you've got some other really nice things marked up in here with you're using with Bookmap with liquidity, and then there's something in here that really sticks out to me, is market structure, and it's such an important part. And I think Christophe, it's skillful to be able to do all of these things and put all these things together, and then trade from it is where it's ultimately the ultimate skill. Like you said, David, I mean, he got 100 points out of this thing.
Yeah.
On size too.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Shark, for example, like maybe your 1 2 3 pattern, like the way he's using this, kind of mark up his structure a little bit. Maybe that'll be helpful for you. I don't know. And then look on each leg. What was that leg like in terms of volume? What was it like with liquidity? I mean, he's got a lot of things going on here, and he's really simplified some complex stuff. I mean, he's got icebergs he's looking at on a correlated market. And he's waiting for those to get filled for him to justify the NQ trade. So there's a lot happening here, and it's really nicely done. So continue on. I mean, I don't know, like, if I don't think I would have been able to do that. If I look at this and I look at some of the structure in here, man, I would measure move. I'd see high liquidity in here. I'd be getting out down here, and it would be a different trade for me. Maybe looking over here and seeing the same thing after we have the trend going. But you held through. You look for your higher. You got your higher time frame. You got your correlations, and you got high liquidity, and nailed it. So yeah, great stuff.
It is, and I say it again. Sorry, Bruce. It's one of the things I often see comments in my sort of Discord posts, and Jack gets them as well. It's like, oh yeah, you guys using Bookmap, yeah, it's only good for scalping and so forth. And often I metaphorically I shrug my shoulders because sure I do post those scalpy sort of charts, whereas this is at the other end of the textbook. This is fantastic. This is like a day view using order flow, confluence across, as you say, multi-markets and other indicators and towels to go and take some serious bucks out of the game, out of the casino. So well done, really good.
Yeah, great stuff. And I'm sure Crash would have lots of comments in here as well, looking at similar things in order flow and also his market pulse and other indicators.
For icebergs and
so Crash, I hope you speak French. And connect you guys.
Great stuff.
Okay.
Great stuff. Just a lot of confluence. Just keep posting.
Yeah, keep going.
So the translation is on the Notion.
Okay. So we'll share that then, the Notion files here after the webinar. We'll put them into the chat there in Bookmap Academy. Let's see. Where else are we here? Stan.
And then I have Rob.
Okay.
I don't know if Rob is here.
Rob Davis?
Yeah, Rob Davis.
Yeah, sure. Rob, welcome to the stage.
Okay. So again, so it was so a trade on MNQ. So he took along on the 4 with 4 MNQ. It's looking pretty much to flag pattern from the academy. I don't know if it was in Confluence or just you were looking at a basic IB reversal as you mentioned. I think it will be good to have some more annotation about what were happening, like about liquidity or even the behavior in here, then give you that confidence to take the trade. So I don't know if you could sort out a sort of a checklist, but still that's a comment. Then I find great like the first scale then you took front of the liquidity completely on the top, and then you took some off. So I don't know if we could have maybe a bigger picture. I don't know if the context was maybe more on the sell side, and you clearly decide to break even. I don't know if you could just give more explanation about this trade too.
Yeah, Rob, are you want to? Do you have the mic open or not? Yeah, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
Yeah. So overall, that was just that actually. It will be great to have maybe more pictures, and you send like a lot of those pictures, a lot of those images about flag pattern. Really like into your Excel, there is a lot of images, and I think you already capture a lot of them, and try to sort something out of it, like the main point that you could take out from them, from those 100 images that you already shared to the academy, and build just the main point, and make your checklist, and do it simple, and do it, and that's great. Then you're using it in confluence with the I don't know if it's a IB failure. I think you were talking about IB reversal back. Um, so yeah, I don't know if David, you have anything to add, or Bruce?
For me, thanks, Stan. I was going to chip in was the monster-wide stop loss. Appreciate the trade management, 190 ticks, you sort of 40, 50 points handles on NQ. That's pretty wide. That's pretty, can I say, Bruce, institutional? That's quite, but again, we all trade around. That's pretty wide, but I can see you reined in pretty quickly, so not a problem. But that's the main thing I note on the chart there, Stan, and so forth.
Yeah.
And Gio, I can see the entry, volume sort of picking up. Trend. I don't fully see it. Don't fully see the entrance. I probably would prefer the earlier one, the one that's sort of, if I think that's 8:35, so a little bit further to the left, where you got that pickup there. Similar pattern we've seen, albeit mirrored of what we've talked about so far. We don't get down to the 380.
300.
Put your glass. 300. Thank you, sir. We don't quite get there. The sellers don't take it down, then the buyers come in. That's a perfect time to hit the bid for me, rather than back at mid-market. But again, I think as you're saying, Stan, whether there's some sort of failures, IB failures, or some other areas that you were looking at, Rob, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and true for the stop. I was thinking if it was just a wider stop with a psychological stop, or and the context was against you, and then you maybe decide to scale the first, and then took some off due to the behavior that came against you. So yeah, that's a question that you maybe could explain a bit more.
Rob said his mic's not working, which I
Yeah,
can sympathise on that on some days. Things,
yeah. So if it was maybe catching a reversal, yeah, obviously if it is more, it's more difficult to catch them. So it's not a bad thing if you really think then it was against you. But yeah, still the stop it's really large.
Yeah, you got some points out, so well done, Rob. It's nice to see some money being taken out. So well done, sir. As Bruce always says, it's easy for us boys and girls to look left-hand side of the chart on a Monday morning and talk about it. But should we segue to you, Bruce, please?
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of I think I can maybe speak for you, Rob. I know your mic's not working, but you probably have your you can see it here. You got your 190, right?
Yeah.
And you just put that in, and then you're going to adjust it. So and that's what you did. Understood. I also do that. I mean, I got. I don't know. I mean, depending on your risk reward and how to properly do that, like we should probably, and maybe I can get development to help us out there. Maybe within the setups checklist, we can put in how much you're willing to risk, and should you be trading micros, or put in the points or something. Because instead of using like an Excel spreadsheet, then it's fine. Widen out your stops, and then trade the amount that you need to trade, and then put your stops in where you want to take the risk. But like if your stop was going to be down here, for example, and you're going to keep it there. You kind of kept it up a little bit higher, which is fine too. But if you're going to keep it like something like that, what is your risk reward in this area? We haven't, I kind of glossed over talking about that last time and just saying like it's more of a psychological thing to place your stop way down here, or far away, and then adjust it. But over time, if you start getting losses on some of these and you're like, wow, that's going to be a big loss, you need to tighten up your, how much you're willing to risk on that trade. You can have a wider stop, but then you have to trade smaller size. And you had a bunch of micros on here. You had 3, or 4. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. What was I going to say here? Yeah, in terms of like and I guess this is West Coast time, so this is like 11:30 East Coast. Yeah, I mean, I like seeing all of this, like, on the way down, your passive buyers, on your way up, your aggressive buyers, and you're looking for your flag pattern. I don't know if I really, I mean, I of course I see this, and I think it's more of a break through this breakdown here. And then a retest back up into the highs, up into here, or you can see it came right up to it. So it's more, that's kind of the structure to it, and maybe that's why this flag pattern that you got it, you got this leg out of it, and that's good. So maybe you're looking for you might potentially be looking for another flag pattern out of it if it's going to be trending. But it's a tough call. You've got high liquidity getting filled on the offer all the way up as well. And you start to see like these clusters of selling in here. Anyway, I don't know if that was helpful or not.
It is.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But you really got this leg very, very nicely, Rob, and way to go. That's you're seeing that, and you're joining in on the momentum. And the momentum trades are the easier trades typically. Just ride that momentum as far as you can. And here we have something right in front of us where it just makes complete sense. These are sellers. Buyers are trading into sellers, and this is where we get a kind of a pullback in a range, and it fits the range beautifully. Supply and demand, so you started getting out. So I like it. Hit that single, and you got a lot out of it. Way to go, Rob.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Let's see. Got a few things to go here. Just a minute. And I would like to, John, I don't know if you have your mic open, but invite you here to the. That's right. You were away last week, David, and John was in, and this is you guys, your buddy from the options in Spot Gamma.
Can you hear me? Okay?
Hey, there you are.
There
Welcome.
you are.
Evening, John.
Great to be with you. Thank you very much.
Likewise, sir. Likewise.
So, do you want to walk us through maybe what you're looking at here? Like, boy, I don't have it. I lost access to my Notion file, so here I can show it here, and then we can take it into more detail here after. So maybe you yeah, walk us through kind of just some really nice simple things here. Beautiful chart.
Mhm, mhm. Well, what set this up is that I like to use Hero, Spot Gamma's Hero program. I like to trade with the option flow. And at this point, and I also sent that picture in that was showing options moving in a negative way. So I always like to trade with that flow. And then also with this trade, the advanced decline line was just screaming to the downside since the open. I mean, it opened at 1,000 and it was just coming down. So all things suggested that we were in a downtrend. So I like to trade off of VWAP. I trade either off of VWAP or off of gamma levels. That's the basis of everything that I do. So you can see I have Hero shows negative option flow. The advanced decline is trending down. I noted the VWAP, and when we came up to it and kissed it, I shorted that. And this is a new chart for me. It was based upon what you mentioned last week, Bruce, with the Trader Map Lite, and there was an abundance of liquidity below that marked the target, and I didn't have that in my regular chart, and I thought, well, my goodness, that's where they're going to go. So I took a small risk, and typically, I'll take the first contract set off. If I'm trading 4, I'll take 2 off. Just so I can get the profit and move my stop down and be safe. But in this instance, with that abundance of liquidity, I just I set my target there and I let it go.
Wow.
And it was just that straightforward. But really can't emphasize enough how important the options have been, just so powerful in moving these markets, and we see it every day. And it was definitely moving in that direction. So, if there's one word that summarizes what I do, it's always confluence. I always have a number of things working in my favor that help me justify a trade. And in this instance, I don't think I marked my stop, but if Hero is taken out, or I'm sorry, if VWAP is taken out, I'm gone.
Got you. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful chart. And yeah, you've got a really simplified, very crystal clear checklist as well.
Mhm.
So some really nice documentation there. And justification for the trade as well. So everything makes clear sense. And the yeah, I mean, this just really stands out.
It does, doesn't it? Big
Yeah.
magnet.
Yeah, yeah. And you got your confluences. So beautiful. Yeah.
Mhm.
Took some nice points out of the market there,
Mhm.
based off of all that. So maybe I just well, actually, I'll turn it over. I'll put Stan in the hot seat and David in the hot seat. No, I was just going to ask more on kind of the confluence. What made you kind of hit the button? But I mean, I know you have your checklist, but in terms of Bookmap and the order flow, were you just kind of were you looking at anything in here? Were you waiting it to maybe trade to the liquidity and then exhaust out, or was this enough liquidity kind of on the way up here, to start to look for when the sellers start to come in? Or were you just looking for this is my level, this is where I want to get in due to all of these things that you have in your checklist?
Well, on this chart, I'm restricted because I can't show you a lot of the other things that I use. The other indicators, the iceberg and the stop runs and the sweeps and stuff, that's not going to show up on this chart. And I don't have, and I really should have sent that up as well. I don't have it here to be able to show you. But on this, this last advance to the upside here, we did have a little bit of stop running up here. And I
Okay.
always have that. I'm just sorry, like I said, it's not permissioned on this chart with the light version. But yes, I did have some stop run activity. Didn't have any icebergs working in here, but I always like to look for exhaustion due to stop runs or sweeps.
Right.
And that added to the trigger. In my other charts that are not on the light version, they always show that. They're always a part of my entry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't have that here to.
Gotcha.
And as I recall, I can't remember if that was a sweep up here or if it was a stop run, but there was something there.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. You actually you can with the Trader Map Lite, you can get stops and icebergs on chart, but not in the sub chart.
Okay.
And so you would be able to kind of like view this area of like, okay, did we get a stop run up into here? You've got another confluence to add into your list
Okay.
here.
But that's for Bookmaps detection. It's not going to work with TTW, is it?
That's right. Yeah, no, it would not. I don't think it will on this chart.
So I just have it in a separate screen, but I'm sorry I didn't think about that, and I really should have. That would have added a lot of context to that. But the liquidity down below, I've never seen anything like that. And I thought, oh, good morning, Bookmap. Yeah.
Yeah, really
Fantastic.
nice. All right, David, Stan.
Well, for me, not a lot to add really, Bruce. It's great charting and trading by John as always. And John, as I've said on some of these webbies before, Bruce, I join John, or John joins me of a London morning and so forth. And the VWAP is a very reliable friend, isn't it, John? In terms
Yes.
of that, as you rightly say, and I know you post some lovely charts with Walter's voodoo, as I would call it, on the charts and show him and so forth. And yeah, it's very reliable, very reliable. Yeah, and you're brutal with it as well. And saying it again, Bruce, about that Tesla today in terms of the options, the 3.2 billion going through 8 times the average daily range, just tells you so much on what the underlying asset is very likely to do. And in Tesla's case, that was going up $20. So yeah, where you're seeing that confidence, you're working yourself down the checklist, and it's low risk trading for sure. Stan, help, please. Back to the chart, David. Yeah.
So yeah, no, yeah, great one. Great to see your checklist, the explanation. I think last week we maybe said to aggregate the bubble. It maybe it can maybe give us a better view. You were speaking about maybe looking for some exhaustion in those area, and I was just wondering if maybe even within Bookmap you could spot them, and I can really see them with all those bubble too. That's true. And
Okay.
last one, I was just wondering why the volume or the total volume bubble or not the delta as we could usually see, if it is something then you just prefer or
It is. I've tried both, and I want to see everything. And especially if I have an indicator up there showing a stop run, I want to see the total volume. And it's just a preference. I'd rather not. It's kind of like a Rinko bar. I don't really care for Rinko bars other than just looking at going to levels, bouncing up off of levels. But I want to see the price action, and I want to see total. And I like the way that Bookmap presents this, where I can see everything. And you get a big buy bubble up there, and then it fails, and that's meaningful to me.
Very much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Stan. And then it was good that thanks, John. You're on the mic because you have your reasons for it, and this is what works for you. This is what you see. You want to see it, and you got access to it. So yeah, this is meaningful, absolutely, and it can't make it back up above it at all. Or just kind of comes shy of it, and then you've got your whole checklist thing that you had already talked about and gone through. So It just looks like a natural move down to here. I don't have any more comments, Stan or David.
No, I'm good on
No,
that
for
one. Well
me
done, John.
that's
Great trading.
Thank you.
yeah, good one.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Right. Let's see. There's also Laura, or no, since we got John here, let's get another one up. Hold on just a second here. And I think I've got Tesla.
Beast of a day on that one. I saw some of your posts today on that, John. Well done, sir.
Oh,
Well played, buddy.
Thank you. Yes, that worked out. Oh,
It was screaming, this one.
it
Yeah,
was
it was.
screaming. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to have bought this one? It was just so obvious we're going up.
So I'm sorry again. Unfortunately, I only have these two views. One's a little too zoomed in or out, and the other one's too zoomed in. But
Okay.
maybe we can go through it here. Yeah, take it away, John.
I think I have that here. Okay. So I go about these all the same way. If you look at a couple of my trades, you've seen one, you've seen them all actually. But so the first thing is I map the liquidity. I note the massive liquidity down below, and I have that indicated as number one. And I can position my stop below that. So when they start getting eaten alive here, I can take an action, but it was never touched down here. And then I note the liquidity above, and that helps me to determine at the onset whether or not the trade is worth it. For the risk that I'm going to take, is there enough daylight to generate a good profit? And so that's what Bookmap does for me, and it's the first thing I do once I establish the levels. And then this one was pretty straightforward. I like to work off of the VWAP or a gamma level. We didn't have a gamma level here. We were far above gamma, but we did retrace nicely back to VWAP. I have all this insulation of liquidity here. And again, this is another trade where, I would generally want to take profits, partial profits, but I didn't because of this massive liquidity up here. And, the options were showing buy. The options were just going crazy to the upside. So there were several things working in favor of this trade. This was probably one of the easiest ones I've ever done. and I when I saw that liquidity, I usually don't trade that heavy, but I went pretty heavy on this one.
Nice. It was great, John. And quite a few people stacked with you today on that because you were posting the main one and I was posting in the sort of banter thing. But yeah, plenty of traders, Bruce, were stacking this one when they saw these charts. They were like, yeah, I'll have a piece of that. Great to feed some others as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are really pretty charts. I mean, just like architectural or something almost, like with all this liquidity here, and like a foundation. And then is trading into well, you got your VWAP like you said, and here's some selling in here, but into buyers, and there's a heck of a lot more buyers underneath. And then here's your answer here. How many sellers do you see down here? Just waiting for those buyers to come in. You got in, and then like you said, you're aggressive with this one because it looks so good and so simple. Usually you say you like to take some out along the way, but this one you held back up here. So yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say here. Like you had your reasons for holding it and waiting, and that totally makes sense based off of what we're looking at here.
But look at that fat green bubble on the left, Bruce. I think it was John, it might have been like a minute or so in. I don't think it's quite on the bell, is it? And
it's usually right on the bell.
And it's, I don't know, 900,000 through in one go. So yeah, it's not gonna fade back much from there, really.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to really say. I mean, maybe like it's. I mean, I don't know. It again, a grain of salt. In after exhaustion like this, when do you see the aggressors come in? And you're getting in here. Maybe let's just zoom in a little bit more. I don't know. Like I would. I mean, like I said, grain of salt, really small grain of salt, but you start to see a little bit more buy volume here. And then once they get back up above this level, and you see that buying, then you're looking for back up into these areas here, and that's as much as I can offer on this one.
Yes, I didn't see the volume, but I did see, as you talked about, the rejection after it hit VWAP over here. But what I saw in real time was this liquidity starting to come in,
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
pulling it up. And so I agree. And really, if I didn't have all this liquidity up here and the liquidity mapping up here, this would not be enough for a trade. So
And it went all the way up as well, John, didn't it? It went up to
yeah,
like
it did. Oh my
270,
goodness, it went.
275,
Yeah,
big
oh gosh.
400,000 lots going through, massive
Yes,
levels. Yeah.
massive. But
Yeah.
this is fine for me. I'm fine with hitting singles and doubles, and consistency is the most important thing. And
Agreed.
if we had just a second, I remember last week I didn't have a mic and I was just
Type it.
I know you were having trouble understanding where I would take one off, and I didn't annotate that very good. But that's the one thing that's made a big difference in my trading. That first contract that I always mark on my charts, last year, taking in all my trades, I had a success rate of 84% to getting to that first objective.
Beautiful.
And so what I do now is at the end of each month, I calculate the P&L based upon the performance of reaching that first target. Take the commissions off the P&L, and I
Yeah.
take that amount of money and I sweep it into a checking account, a business checking account. I've been
Okay.
able to organize my enterprise under a company name, and so
Nice.
I get a paycheck each week from those funds as I've built them up over time. And
Beautiful.
so that really allows me, it takes the pressure off, because that was a big
Mhm.
handicap for me. Some days the market's slow, it's 11 o'clock, you haven't done anything. My goodness, I could be doing better flipping burgers. But
Yeah.
now I get a paycheck, and
Beautiful.
I pay the expenses
right.
out of that account, and it really allows me to focus on the trading and not the money.
On the job. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. And when I
Great
go
tip.
into the bank and want a loan, I'm an employee. Here's my W-2. Here's my credit. Um, I don't know what they
Love
would
it.
do if I told them I was a futures trader and here's my statements.
Here's the door.
So now I just show them that and there's no question. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So that was huge for me. And then the second series, that when I finally reach my target, that performance builds the accounts.
Got you. Which makes a bigger paycheck for the next day.
Yeah, I mean that you just keep adding to it, but yeah, but it's so nice to have that just sitting out there, and it's in cash. It's not earning anything, and there's a lot of it out there. I copy trade a bunch of accounts, so at the end of the month, it adds up. But it's so nice. And before, I'd look at the calendar and I see, there's going to be an event and I'm not going to want to trade that day, such as a FOMC decision. And I'd be like, geez whiz, there's a day lost. Now it's like, woo, today I'm getting the paycheck. What are we going to do that day? And it really has been great. And it's really enabled me to get away from that idea of working as a speculator.
Yeah. Love it. Great tip for many there, John. Thank you.
Yeah, that's I have a lot of comments on that, but I'll let Stan get in here and listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I really like how you highlight this anomaly about liquidity clearly, and how you act to it. Yeah, as Bruce mentioned, just for the entry, maybe waiting for a bit more conviction, just for our eyes.
Mhm.
But yeah, just amazing and great history
Mhm.
and yeah, your return of experience.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, just thank you for posting.
My pleasure. Thank you for your thoughts.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, to have you in, to have Christophe in, and some of these other traders. I mean, it's some really great content.
Big time.
We've got Crash, we've got Laura's now is making really great content. I mean,
Yes.
Shark, everybody in here, Steven, Shark, Caesar, DNT, making some really great stuff. Rob, great to see you also with that taking that continuation trade. Um, the if I just want to highlight this. We've seen this during the institution traders webinar series and some of the psychology. Also, David, you had mentioned this. The way that you trade and manage
Yeah.
is very similar to John in this sense of
Definitely.
you put yourself at ease psychologically.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trading the pre-market. You trade the pre-market. You make a little bit of money. Now you can play,
That's it. House money. I've got my house money. I'm good. Yeah.
Mhm.
and you can you don't feel like you're at ease. Like it's like so what? Like
That's it.
I'm gonna punt here and go for it. And John, I mean, you know your statistics on your first leg. Sweep that into the bank account, and then you've you've got a paycheck and you're growing your business here.
Mhm.
Beautiful idea. And then how you say this has helped you tremendously. I mean, it made a big difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. If anyone else has some things like this they want to share, please let us know. Jump up here on the stage because the way that David is managing it and then the way that John is managing it is very similar but very different also.
Mm.
So you're really great stuff. Instead of like losing it all one day and coming back and winning it all, the next day, and you're just like you wake up the next morning, it's like I don't know what's going to happen, and do I even want to continue doing this?
Mhm.
So instead, very kind of well thought out, and it fits your mindset in the way that you're trading.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's that segue there, Bruce. I talk about golf again and the way we find our own way around the course, but it's exactly that on trading, isn't it? It's about finding your way around the markets, what works for you, and it may not work for someone else, and it's aping bits off each other till we find our own rhythm and our swing again.
Yeah. I mean, we just had a Pro Trader webinar with Dr. Brett Steenbarger, and Scott Pulcini, and Dr. Brett was talking about like I was kind of shocked to hear it, to be honest, but he was saying like no, trade in sim, and everyone's like I mean thinking right, but he's like he was saying that it puts you at ease, like, and you start to see the numbers if you're trading size. You start to see the numbers. You start to kind of understand it a little bit better, and you gain a lot of experience. And then when you start, trading, you're not so shell shocked. But or find a method like this. That if you just trade it up to a certain area, 84% of the time you're hitting it. That's going to build confidence, and that's what Dr. Brett was saying, building confidence.
Interesting. Yeah.
Uh,
Good tip.
yeah, great stuff. Thank you, John.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Great stuff.
Let's see. I think I have something here from Laura. Just a minute. Okay, Laura's trading the 1, 2, 3 pattern. And yeah, John, if you want to stay in and comment, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
Laura is she's here, but she is a German speaker, so she understands English pretty well. But she'll comment in the text channel. But let's take a look here and see what's going on. So 1, 2, 3 pattern. She's been highly influenced by Shark, and then there's a couple images in here to go through. But the kind of hard to read in here. So you got your open here, an opening range, and then at the top of the range in here, it looks like she is getting long here. It's kind of hard to. No, I'm sorry. It's a short here, right here, and then a move on down to take some off. It looks like, and then have the next image. Okay, which is this one. Okay, so it looks like this was your first, maybe, and then you're capturing it down here and then training it back up to here. Okay, so there's this is the pullback 1, 2, 3. Take profit 1, 2, 3 right on the way back. Way to go, Laura. Fantastic. I don't know if I'm reading this all correctly in here. I think so. Yeah, I mean, this, Laura, really nice discipline. These pieces are really coming together for you. You're reading the market structure. I would say, like, your trade management is excellent. I mean, God, there's some small little pieces of criticism or suggestions in here, but you're doing really well. It's really heartwarming to see. You've got your checklist. You're marking it up on the charts, and I would say, like, if there's anything to kind of comment on, like I said, it's easy to do, but like you're seeing your sellers on the way down or your buyers on the way down, and then this is pretty aggressive here. Now I know you did this before as well, where it was kind of aggressive. You might be zoomed in here, and you're looking at this kind of level to be broken by some buyers, but on this view, it looks much better in here for an entry. When you start to see, like, the lack of selling and then the buying coming in after this confluence in your 1, 2, 3 pattern as well. And then you trailed it up. Another thing is to look for maybe some potential, I can see your range that you drew in here of a potential measured move, and start to line it up with maybe some other order flow or structural elements as well. But that's all I've got.
Nice. No, nice chatting, Laura, and thank you for Laura and me been chatting of a morning at times on, which is nice. This is London close here, Bruce, if I'm correct on my time. So you got that 10:30, so that's 11:30 in New York. So you've got the sell down into London close. So you've got time of day on your back. You've got the ice coming in, and then it goes back off. So yeah, great time to trade. Read the chart really, really well, and scalped it both ways. Well done, Laura. Good on you. Cheers, John.
I didn't know he was going to do that.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
trying to avoid talking.
a little bit of a curveball.
It was a curveball. I should have known. Well, I agree with everything that was said.
Right.
I do. I think it's outstanding. Wonderful. I'm not that familiar with the Nasdaq, so I don't know the nuances about it to have any more of a comment. No, that is very nice. I understand the precepts, and I thought it was great. Yes.
Yeah. Time of day key there, Laura. Well played. And your earlier one was the opening range, which I know you've become a real big fan of, and getting to grips with just getting those points buying the dip as you did on the left hand side on that chart as well. So well done, you.
Yeah. Stan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, just maybe about the entry. That's great. The checklist there. Just yeah, maybe more conviction, or if we can have more zoom view about the entry. Yeah, to really wait and buy as a stepping in, but again, I think it's good to enter with this conviction. No, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Well, I mean, I know you're agreeing with me on that, but like, if you look at this in here, the and maybe this helps you too, Laura, is what Christoph was doing, of starting to mark these things up. This structure, and then where that structure starts to break. And maybe that helps, and then look for that volume to kind of help confirm that is one thing. Maybe another is because like what I'm trying to say here is there's still more selling here, no question. It has not turned around yet, and this might help you reduce risk because we know that there's some high liquidity in here getting filled, but why didn't it come down to this one? And it didn't, and you got in, and you nailed it. But I don't know. I find that like many times, like if I get in here, it does this. It goes not only. Let me draw that again. Not only does it do this, and then it kind of bounces, and then it does one more, and then it does something like that. But here it just didn't, and the buyers come in here and move it away. Might have been your higher time frame, but let's take a quick look here. We do have that, so we can take a look. So I mean, this was your range, right? And here's your 300 down here, and
Might be a different day, I think Laura's saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little confused because she goes next image.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my bad. It is 300 though. So I don't know.
She's
Anyway.
got in the chart. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's images, it's a long, and the other one that's a short.
No, she's short here.
Yeah, and in the other images.
Oh no, she's short. She's short here.
Yeah, right.
So she traded it down.
Yeah, perfect.
Then she traded it back up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is the same trade, Laura. Is it as the previous image? No, I guess not. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Anyway.
It's been a long day for all of us, Bruce. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, great progress, Laura. I know that you also are working with or a student of Robert Rother, but you're showing content here. You're trying multiple things. This is very specific. Here you're doing shark blues 1, 2, 3. Learning from that, applying different trade management along the way, and really great to see becoming an expert, Laura.
And London blows. Well done, Laura.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. John, I'll throw it back to you.
No, I agree with what you're saying, Bruce. That's the only thing that I would say. I would have had a little problem. I would have liked to have seen prices come down and hit this liquidity and then reverse off of it. Because if I was getting long in here, I would be worrying about the market going down to get that. So that's the only thing. I would have liked to have seen a rejection down here, or to see what the market's going to do at this point. This is new liquidity coming in as this market is coming down, and I'm a bit surprised it didn't actually go down and get it.
Yeah.
So that would be my only comment.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. I think that's everything that I have. I don't know, Stan, if you have any more comments, or I think we can wrap it up here and call it a day.
Oh yeah, for me that's great. Great trade. Yeah, perfectly nailed it. First short, then long. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. That's not easy to do. So
No.
Kudos, Laura.
Pitching and batting. Well done, Laura. Pitching and batting. She's in the hitters box. Killing it.
Yeah. Great stuff. So, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, coaches. Thank you for coming up on the stage and hanging with us, John.
Yes,
We'll call it a day. Don't forget though, like tomorrow, okay, we have hedge fund manager Al Vinjamore talking about size. He's totally quantitative. He's a mathematician. It's going to be really interesting. He's traded just tremendous size. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and it's a very, very different game. I can't wait to see what Al has to say. And then we have the competition the following week, right, of trading size. So I'll put together a kind of a cheat sheet or checklist for you guys on training size based off of what we have, what the traders talked about this week in the institutional traders webinar, as well as other tips and tricks. So we'll have something to go by. So yeah, well, thank you all. Have a great evening, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow for the Al Vinjamore webinar.
excellent.
Cheers, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for your posting, and great joining us as well, John. Thank you.
Very much, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Take care, guys. Cheers now.